Ladies and gentlemen, Geri Petito.
I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. And in time, this too shall pass. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. Geri Petito taught the class. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. Loves the answer, the greener grass. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. One day at a time, free at last.
When you don't know just what to do,
Just what to do, just what to do.
if what you're feeling is really true,
Is it really true? Is it really true?
just keep your ideas safe and sound.
Safe and sound, safe and sound.
That's exactly how change is found.
Change is found, change is found. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. And in time, this too shall pass. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. Geri Petito taught the class. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. Loves the answer, the greener grass. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. One day at a time, free at last.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Geri Petito Show. Everyone and anyone who knows me knows I am the author of I'm Not an Addict, I'm Just an Ass. I'd rather be a smartass than a dumbass. Because, guys, 32 and a half years ago, I was a dumbass. But today, 32 and a half years later, I can honestly say now I'm a smartass. And yes, the word ass is in the Bible at least 40 times, and it means donkey, and that's what I was. I'm saying all that to say this, there are a lot of people that are struggling with health issues, with addiction, even with recovery. And I want to let you know that someone is listening. I'm a nutritional health coach. I'm also a recovery coach. All my services to you are free. Please, please reach out. Okay, and if you think my book can help someone, because I sure do, you can go right to Simon & Schuster's bookstore, Archway Publishing, BAM, Amazon, Barnes & Noble. You can go to my website, www.geripetito.com. You could even order it from there. And guys, if you truly, truly, truly cannot afford my book, please, please reach out to me about that as well. I'm here to help you. Okay, so I would like to give a shout out to a few of my sponsors. First, I have Michael Zanman, singer, entertainer, performer. He's really off the charts, guys. A fun guy, great singer. www.mzanman.com. John Monforto, the man of many faces. I actually named him that. Singer, actor, celebrity impersonator, and tribute artist. He was given the title by a former Philadelphia mayor as the official Philadelphia Rocky impersonator. He's incredible. He does about 30 different characters. Amazing. www.johnmonforto.com. Michael D'Amore, singer, songwriter, performer, entertainer, the new lead singer of the Capris. Okay, www.michaeldamore.com. It's so funny, everyone that knows me knows I'm an oldies, Elvis, and doo-wop girl. And I've only said this about Michael D'Amore until Carter Rubin, the youngest kid on The Voice that won, okay? I put Carter above Michael. They're all friends and family, and it was funny. I say Elvis is here and Michael's here. But now it's Elvis, Carter, and then Michael, okay? Check them out, guys. And then, last but certainly not least, John Bishop, a.k.a. Johnny B. Singer, songwriter, host of the Entertainment Luncheon South, a nonprofit network created for the creative. Facebook group page, Entertainment Luncheon South. Partner in the Joey D and Johnny B Rockin' Oldies Band. And what Johnny has been doing is amazing with this luncheon, okay? He puts it on once a month, and he brings everyone together, all the entertainers. He promotes everybody. He's off the charts. So please check him out as well. So, guys, I always bring it, right? Well, honey, I am bringing it again, okay? I've got an incredible, incredible lady here with me. First of all, I want to introduce her as Roxy Astor. Say hello to everyone.
Well, hello. I like the Rocky, but it is Roxy.
Oh, no, I meant to say Roxy. You know why? Because I was thinking of my Rocky impersonator. Okay, I had him on my mind.
I'll take it. But Geri, you know what? I heard a rap before it was your theme song. So I'm going to sing you my rap.
Let's go.
So when you meet with Roxy, you better beware, because I'm really strong and debonair. This jet set girl never backs down, because all she wanted was the glow crown and didn't get it.
But that is so cool. Thank you for that.
You're welcome. I wanted to do it live for you and save it for you. Surprise.
Oh my gosh, everybody right here live on the Geri Petito Show. You heard it, baby. Roxy, that was amazing. Thank you, sweetheart. I
you're
love
welcome.
that. So All right, so listen. So Park Avenue Knockouts from New York, Gorgeous Ladies of Wrestling. Please elaborate on that.
Well, to start off with, okay, when because I was a fan of Glow before I joined Glow. Such a fan. I was a fan of Matilda the Hun, and it was something, I would watch WWF at the time and always thought, I want to be a bad girl. I want to be the baddest girl that Glow has ever seen. And so when it came down to our characters, I'm sitting there going, yep, I'm going to be a bad girl. I'm going to be a bad girl. And Matt Simber, our director, looked at me and said, Tracy, you are Roxy Astor, a good girl from Park Avenue. And I'm like, where's that? And you're very rich and you have lots of money. I go, okay. So I was a little disappointed until I did my research on Park Avenue, and I was named after the Astor family in New York, which is a very, very rich family. I'm
Okay.
sure you've heard of Astor. And then my tag team partner was Tiffany Mellon from Mellon Financial.
This is so cool.
So little playing words. And so if I can use the word ass one time,
Yes, you can use it
that's
a
gonna
lot
be
of
it, and I
times.
can use it in, he named me Astor after the Astor, and Melon after Melon. So it's kind of play on words, but also what we look like. So it was a lot of fun, and I used that well.
So, all right. So let's go back in time a little bit.
Yeah.
All right. Because I'm fascinated with your story. I'm fascinated with the photos. I was just like, oh my gosh, I got to have this lady on my show. All right. So let's go back in time a little bit. How were you as a child growing up, and what did you aspire to be then? Come
And
on.
that's a funny, okay, I laugh at that because I was probably the weirdest kid you've ever seen. I grew up, I had pimples on my face. I was just very insecure, but for some reason, it didn't stop me from, wanting to do things. And I was known as the olive kid. I would put olives on my fingers and play with them and hide pineapples under my bed. I have no idea why. So very, very strange kid. And not popular in school, but I did try out for cheer 5 times and never made it.
I love you.
Like, go team. Yeah, I can't even move. Yeah. And I tried I tried out for the president of our class and got booed off. And I'm just like, I did it though. I did it. So here's this insecure person, young girl who's trying to fit in. I don't know where to fit in, and I wasn't with the stoners. I wasn't with the cool kids. Obviously, I wasn't with the cheerleaders. And so I was trying to find my niche. And the only thing that I really kind of fit into, I found out from people that I was very funny in high school, which I don't remember, but they let me know that. And nothing really stopped me. The more you turn me down or the more I don't get something, it's the more I want to go after it. And I've been like that ever since.
All right. So that's really inspirational for people listening who may have a child in their family who's a little shy or whatever it is. Let them listen to her. All right? Because that's pretty cool. That didn't stop you.
No.
And that's
No.
amazing because usually it hinders, young people from doing what they really want to do or try things.
Yeah.
Um,
And
so,
Jerry, you know what? What's really hard is, I mean, growing up and having acne at the time and really nothing there on the shelf besides Clearasil or anything that would help it. I mean, I'm just packing on and just, it was, I was very insecure about that. And it's just because it's hard to be, in high school with things like that and a little overweight and that. But I just worked through it. And then I realized I didn't want to be with any group. I'll form my own group. So yes, it's very important just to kind of be yourself.
okay. So now let's talk a little bit about, the wrestling, I guess, or not wrestling, I mean, boxing. What did you guys actually do?
Okay, I have to tell you a little thing about how I really got over to LA because it's such a funny story, and
Okay.
people are like, It doesn't make sense, but in my mind, it makes sense.
Okay.
I saw Flashdance.
Okay.
And I saw this strong girl, the maniac. I saw that, and I saw she was a welder, and she had a dog, and she was like in this warehouse, and she was just like so independent. And I'm like, yeah, I want to go to LA, and the only thing I can really do is wear my sweatshirt on my shoulder, and that's about it. So I went to LA. And so, like I said, I was a fan of Glow, and I would watch the WWF at the time, and I always thought, these women, they're just kind of ballets. They're not really out there. They're kind of standing back behind the guys. And I'm like, yeah, that's not me. I would never do that. And then I happened to watch TV a little bit longer, and then I saw Glow, and I'm like, well, this is weird. What is this thing? And I saw like pink and glitter and glamour, and then it was the gorgeous ladies of wrestling, and I was like, oh my God, this is my flash dance. This is it. So, I had no clue what to do. So I continued just to be a fan and watch until there was an actual phone number that said, do you want to be a Glow girl? And my dream really was to go meet Matilda the Hun. If I could wrestle next to her, if I could wrestle her, I would be a happy person, just to be in the presence of her. So, I tried out, and from what I found out, there was about 3,500 girls that tried out.
Really?
3,500. I don't know if I'd want to know that number before I went in. I would probably have panicked maybe a little. So the thing is, I called and I sent in this really hot picture of me bent over a motorcycle, like, yeah, black leather mini skirt, hair ratted out,
Yeah.
high heel boots. I'm like, telling them who I'm going to be, I'm going to be this. And the next week though, I got a call and I got an audition. But you had to make your way to Las Vegas. They were not going to pay for your way to go there. And I made my way in my little 924 Porsche, which I have to say, I had the best car of Glow out there. So I'm driving, and then we tried out. So that's where it started. It was in Las Vegas. That was the tryouts.
All right. So John Terlizzi's watching. He says hello. Shout out to John. We love you, baby.
John.
All right. So I have a question for you. So did you wrestle prior to this ever? Like, if you had to try out, you kind of had to know what you were doing?
Okay, and that kind of goes back to my childhood.
Okay.
I had no clue what I was doing.
Okay.
I like a challenge. I like anything that is a little bit out there. I like anything that pushes me to my limits. So I'm just like, I watch wrestling. I did a little bit of running in high school, but I didn't know how to take a bump, or I know how to pull hair. I could do that, but there's an actual way to do it. So I knew nothing. I wasn't an actress. I didn't do anything. I didn't do theater. I didn't do a thing. I just knew I had to be there and I was not going home. And that was that.
All right. So can you
Strange, right?
describe a little bit about that audition? I'm just blown away by this. What did you have to do?
Okay, so this is what I kind of had pictured in my mind. I thought, okay, so we're all going to go, whatever girls made it over. Like I said, I did not know about the 3,500 girls. And then they brought it back down to, I would say maybe 150 girls. And, and I was just excited to get over there and see my Glow girls and, and hang out. And when I got there, I thought we were going to go to the Riviera, because that's where they were shooting Glow at the time, was at the Riviera. And they got to do the coolest things in the Riviera. We only got to eat the buffet. So I go there, and driving up to these apartments, and I'm like, what is this? But there was about 150 girls all spread out on the lawn. I remember this girl with this green mohawk, and there was like little short, big, small, wide. There was all walks of life. Now keep in mind, Glow was open to everything and anything, any shapes and sizes. You did not have to be that cookie cutter Barbie doll that every wrestling show had at the time. Glow was, I think, the start of anything, just as long as you had what it took, you were good on the mic. But in fact, there's a very funny video where we're doing our raps and we're dancing and everything. And my shoulders are like this, but we knew nothing. So when I met the girls, and all I kept thinking was, oh my God, this is my competition. This is it. Like, how am I going to stand out? And then I started, and these girls were like really different. And I'm like, where am I going to fit in? How am I going to do this? So I kind of thought, you know what? I'm just going to be everybody's friend. I'm going to stay out of the drama. I'm not going to do that. And then some of the girls were complaining. I don't like the apartment. There was 4 girls to an apartment, which I thought, I didn't go to college. This is my sorority. I'm going to totally dig this and just have fun with it. And so then little by little, girls were like, I hurt my ankle. Not enough money. I'm like, go. There's more room for me. So anytime a girl left, I'm like, that is going to be my spot. So little by little, it dwindled down. And then I think after, I'm going to say 4 months, we were just all kind of sitting in a room. And that's when we got our character name. And that's where Roxy Astor from Park Avenue was born.
That is so ridiculously cool. Okay.
Yeah, it was fun.
I grew up in Long Island City, New York. My dad moved us here when I was 12 years old to New Jersey, but you can't take the New York out of me, lady. But so now let me ask you something. When you wrestle, are you really wrestling? Did you really wrestle? Did you ever get hurt? Like, tell me a little, or was it really all theatrics?
Okay, so just kind of imagine, and this is what I'm going to say, what I remember, and
Okay.
other girls are going to have their own experience.
Sure.
Girls, this is mine. So I remember Nanichka from Russia. She was a strong wrestler, and there was Debbie, who was a cheerleader. Cheerleaders, wow. So but she was my trainer, but she could do flips and splits and that. And I'm like, I can't do any of that. So then all of a sudden, it was kind of like Matt Simber was in the back. And one thing, I noticed a lot of things about people, and he would just stand there. Now, Matt Simber was married to Jane Mansfield, if anybody doesn't.
Heck yeah, baby. Go ahead.
Yeah, so he knew what he liked. So whatever he saw in you, he saw a character in you.
Gotcha.
And that's what I liked about him. He saw Roxy. I have no idea how or why, but it worked. And so then all of a sudden, it was kind of like, run the ropes. And I'm like, wait, they kind of walk you through a little bit, like, okay, you go on the ropes like this, you do a little bit of go to the turnbuckle. And then all of a sudden it's like, go, run the ropes. And I think I got caught up in the momentum that it was just like, I did it, and then we started off with our bumps, and this stuff hurts. Like, I couldn't walk probably for about 3 weeks, but for some reason, when you get back into training, and if you're limping, stop. Don't limp, you're out.
Okay.
If you're hurting, shut up, you're out. Just do what you're supposed to do. I think a couple of the girls got hurt, and honestly, back then, you get hurt, you're out.
Okay.
So even if I was hurt, I just worked through it, and I did work through it. But then also too, we're in Vegas. A lot of the girls want to party, and I would party at night, but I'm like, and I don't smoke, and I've never smoked. So I had a lot of, I could be in the ring and really work it. So that's one good thing I had. And I remember Matt Simber telling me, Roxy, you're going to hate yourself 20 years from now on TV if you don't lose that. Can I say it?
Go ahead.
Ass. Only twice.
You can say it as much as you want, baby.
Okay. I'm counting. So I did. I started running and got my endorphins going, and I realized, and I'm like doing 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups. I'm leaning up against the wall, and you could hear all the girls complaining like, we're hungover. And I'm like, well, that's kind of scary, because then I'm in the ring with you. I was very, very focused. Yes, I did party with the bad girls, even though we weren't supposed to. But when it came down to it, I was fit. I was in shape. And
yeah, your photos are incredible.
I did not want to go home. I did not. And one injury could have sent me home. And so I took it very serious. But I learned very, very quick. I think the scariest thing, though, was when we were in the ring, and you have to do a front bump. Now, Jerry, if you've never put your feet over your head, I am not a gymnast. It's kind of like do a front bump. And I'm just like, all of a sudden, I just took my hands and flipped over my back and slammed. And I'm like, I did it. Oh, this is great. I love this.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. And then you had to learn to tuck your head. And, they taught us all that, but it doesn't mean everything's going to go as planned. I got obsessed. I was front bumping and back bumping and just making my body like hurt so I could go in there and just you almost have to get through that pain in order to go to enjoy it. To go, okay, now if something happens, I'm prepared for it. I remember doing a match with Godiva, and we did a 7-minute match, and my legs started giving out, and we were doing a suplex. All of a sudden, her head's going down, my legs give out at the last minute. I happened to tuck her head. If I didn't, her neck would have been broken.
Oh, wow.
So, I mean, yes, there is you can really get hurt. You can really, and to this day, girls that have wrestled later on, they're hurt. They're hurting.
Okay. So now, all right, let me ask you this then. So were the
Mm-hmm.
boys afraid of you?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it's funny. Yeah,
I love
was
it.
that was a bit of a tomboy,
Yeah.
you know. But if I liked a boy, I would chase them, and they would run.
So funny. So,
I'm a very strong personality, and you know how that goes. I'm a little intimidating, so that's just who I am.
that's who I am as well. I get it.
Yeah.
So, all right, now let's talk about what's happening now, like movies, like tell, I don't want you to forget to talk about all this.
Okay. I'm going to go back to where we did I've done actually 4 cruises with the fans, and my first Afterglow fan party was with a Kickstarter, and I raised $5,000 and got the Glow Girls, Glow fans together. And I thought, if I do this Kickstarter and I raise the money, it means I'm going to keep going and doing what I'm supposed to be doing with Afterglow. So end up doing 4 cruises. I did a play, envisioned it, the Afterglow 80s musical experience. And it was actually the last event that Matilda the Hun did. And we won from Broadway World, Best Ensemble of the Decade in Los Angeles, and from Broadway World, Best Director, Christopher Carver, and he's out in New York right now, starring and directing these plays. So our budget was $7,000, and I told you we beat out Hamilton out in LA. We beat out Mamma Mia. We beat out
Wow.
Why? Thanks to the fans. Thanks to the fans. I love and appreciate the Glow fans that basically keep us keep going. And I love the fans. So
Holy
and
cow.
then you want to know about my new project.
Yes.
Okay, so after Matilda the Hun, and then we had COVID, and I swear I don't know where those 3 years went. But I tried to do the best, I could do. We almost had a TLC deal with the Afterglow. We were right up there, and you know how that goes. It can just be taken from you at any minute. So I was, was going to do a show with the original Glow Girls and get them out there, because we are a crazy bunch of women. We were the first all-female wrestling TV show in history, and we actually got an award. Thank you to Patricia Summerland, who got us the CAC award. So, and that's kind of a cool thing to be the first.
Yes.
Yeah, especially after WWF. And so I had in my mind, I had a vision. We wanted to bring the Afterglow party or the musical but it was too costly. It would have been like $1 million. And I'm like, let's just bring it down a little bit. So I would go visit Matilda the Hun in her home, and I did that for about 2-3 years. And unfortunately, at that time too, I had a friend, Robert Wynn, who I had to pull in because my daughter's fiance had passed away during COVID. I was on my way to my dad's funeral when he passed away, and then Dan was in the hospital waiting for a heart transplant, and I'm just like, I'm being pulled from all different directions, and I'm just like, I'm going up to visit Matilda. I'm putting on a good face for Matilda, who is there bedridden, and I think due to her neuropathy, her wrestling, everything else. And I'm going on putting on a good face, but I pulled Robert Wynn in to help me. So we decided, and I had a dream to be at the Zephyr Theater. And that's after I saw the Linda Lovelace play. And I go, I want to be at this theater. And so it just happened to be where this is what I'll do. I'll go, Robert, here we go. I'm booking the theater. We're doing it. I'm writing it. It's done. Okay, so now July 26th, 27th, and 28th, we have Matilda the Hun, the raw meat. And the reason why it's the raw meat is because Matilda the Hun wrote the song Raw Meat, which is in one of the Glow videos. I eat raw meat. I eat it well. So she is, it's a crazy song. So really, it's my story. It's Robert Wynn's story. It's a story that the fans want to know what happened to Matilda. Because when we went there to her home, we didn't take pictures. We didn't exploit her. We just kept her going and brought her whatever she wanted. I mean, we spoiled her. But this is kind of a thing for the fans where they can go, hey, let us tell you the funny stories that happened. And I think that one of my favorite stories was when I got us backstage at WWE at a pay-per-view. The Glow Netflix girls were there at the same time. I'm wheeling Matilda the Hun, and at WWE, there are fans from across the way yelling, Matilda the Hun, you rock!
That's so
she
cool.
just lit up. She loved her fans. Oh my God. And just to hear her laugh, and I miss her every day. So this is really paying homage to Matilda the Hun, her family who gave us their blessing to put this on. Not about the money. It's actually a passion project. And we have an exhibit of her original belt, her roller skates that her family was nice enough to give to me because they know I would make sure that would find its right home.
So, for everyone listening that doesn't know who Matilda is, just a couple minutes taken, just give a description so they know.
Okay, so Matilda the Hun is a very unique character or a person because she also went by Queenie Kong. She was in roller derby.
Yep.
And her IMDb is very long. She was a bearded lady in Spaceballs. She was in Married with Children, Night Court. She was in Love in an Elevator, the strong girl who came down. Her IMDb is so long.
Yep.
But I have to say this too. She is the only Glow girl to have her. Because back in the day too, she also had Another Life, which is her book, Glamazon Queen: My Life of Glitter, Guts, and Glory, and it showed her life in the '80s of when it was. She had what do you call it? How do you say this right? She had another life. How about that?
Okay.
She had a whole nother life, and she had you got to read the book. It's a good book.
Okay.
So, so she was much more than any of it being in roller derby and being in Glow. So
Okay.
I met her or saw her in Glow and was a fan. But when I saw her in the Glow documentary and I saw her in her wheelchair, honestly, my heart just dropped and I thought, how, like what? And it just kind of blew my mind that here she is, like what happened? And so if people watch a documentary, they will see Matilda the Hun in there and just her laugh. And she loved everybody. So
What's funny about Matilda, like growing up, people would drop her name constantly. Mm-hmm. Like, she's known all over the world. I mean, people would drop her name and say, what do you think, you're Matilda the Hun? Who do you think you are, Matilda the Hun? I mean, I grew up listening about that. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
you got to meet her, and this is amazing, amazing.
Gary, we were best friends.
That's
we were
amazing.
best friends.
I'm so happy for you with that.
I pulled her out of Leisure World and I said, I'm going to take you on a ride. And I brought her into the play. I feel like I did the play for her. I brought her to WWE.
Right.
We did all wrestling contests. We had a Glow Netflix party at my house. I kept her busy. And you know what? It was probably the best time ever. And those are the times, that it's just like, this is what I want to share with people.
Well, I can say now that I'm friends with the best friend of Matilda. I'm going to tell people that, okay?
Yeah, yes, you are.
What year did
Officially.
she pass? What year?
January, I'm thinking it's gonna be 3 years. You know what? Honestly, time really,
It does. So a few
it
years
goes,
ago, a few years
it
ago.
goes, yeah. And the sad thing about that, it was about 2 weeks later, there was, Angel. She was from Glow. She was a motorcycle girl who had the most beautiful person. 2 weeks later, she passed away. And so we didn't really know what or why. I think it might have been COVID. I'm not really for sure, but it was the saddest time for
Wow,
Glow
sorry
and
to
Glow
hear all that.
fans. So,
How
and
old was Matilda when she passed?
Matilda was about, I'm gonna say 72,
Okay,
but I think being in a home didn't help her and not moving
yeah,
around. But like I said, she had
okay,
neuropathy and injuries, which did not help.
okay.
Uh, like Mount Fiji, also a big, a big tall person and basically stuck in bed too. And once you get those injuries,
Right.
it's really hard to come back from that.
Wow.
So, but Angel was fine. I mean, she was,
Yeah.
oh my God, she was. That was a shock. So we ended up doing like a with Robert Wynn and we did a double memorial to pay honor to Matilda. It was just going to be for Matilda, and then it ended up being with
That's
Angel,
sad. That's
which
sad.
was very unfortunate, and it was just really hard
Very
for all of
sad.
us so too. Yeah,
But thank you for that beautiful story. So
yeah.
that was really cool. So, all right, so now let me ask you a couple questions. So, who did you have inspirations for growing up? Like in entertainment? Like who inspired you?
Oh, I know who it is. Your love is like a tidal wave spinning over. Pat Benatar.
So I love
And
her.
Heart and
Oh,
Heart.
yes.
I'm from Seattle. Ann Wilson, Nancy Wilson.
Yeah, Nancy Wilson,
Down.
baby.
That was it. That was it. The strong, and I think it went back to that. I couldn't play guitar. I couldn't do any of that or sing. Obviously, you saw that. But we thought we could sing back then. We thought we were Pat Benatar in our car at the
Stevie
time.
Nicks.
I love Stevie Nicks,
Yes.
but I like the hardcore,
Yeah.
the girls with the guitars, and just Pat Benatar. Just kind of, that's what kind of got me going. Was
Yeah.
Pat.
Okay.
Mhm.
I could tell.
I can't sing, but
So now let's tell everyone who you're married to.
not married.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, who you're with?
But I'm with Dan Magnus, two-time world kickbox champion, the only one to come back from open heart surgery and win the title. Did you know that?
No.
Right. So he's one of a kind. So, and that's going to be his story that he'll probably tell you one day or soon or and he's also known as the bad boy in martial arts. They would tell him to do this, he would do that. And we actually did some self-defense classes, and I learned a lot from him with the self-defense classes. So he's a bit of a toughie. So I think that's what kind of drew me to him, because he was a wrestler also. He was a wrestler. And he owned a wrestling school, and he owned a federation, I love the stories. In fact, we talk about the stories all the time. So I like the person, and I have to like the stories and the background, and I like him too much and love him too much to marry him, if that makes sense.
That's funny. So he goes by Dan the Bionic Man Magnus.
Yes, he might not think that, but he goes by Dan Magnus. But it was actually Joe Corley who was announcing the fight, and the way he was telling it, we met Joe Corley somewhere, and he's like, "This is a guy that just had he had surgery, and he came back after his wire popped out, and this is Dan," and he threw that name out there, and it just kind of stuck, and then it was Dan the Bionic Man Magnus.
That's so great. For everyone listening, I will be interviewing him next. Very cool. So what else, girl? What else do you want to tell everybody?
Well, I want to say something about the Matilda the Hun, because I have somebody I've been working with this guy, and you're going to know the name, but don't think it's that guy. His name is Dave Navarro.
Okay.
He's been in the industry, not that Dave Navarro,
Okay.
that's what I say. but even better. So he's been in the entertainment industry for a long time, and he's actually doing the lighting for our show. So I've worked with Dave probably for about 6 or 7 years. Dave got me through COVID. I got Dave through COVID. We were on the phone. That's when we were working on our TV deal. I think that we kept each other going at the time. So Dave's been a good friend, and I'm excited to be, him doing this lighting for us. It's going to be amazing. So I'm just very honored that he's doing this with us. And he's actually writing, almost halfway done, a movie about Matilda the Hun.
That is so cool. All right.
So, yeah.
So I have like a two-sided question for you. Okay? So who have you met that you've always wanted to meet in the industry, and who haven't you met that you wish you could have met?
Okay, so who I wanted to meet, and it's kind of a funny story. Oh my God, it's a really funny story. Was Eddie Murphy.
Okay.
Okay, and that was back in the day. But can I tell you a really quick story that led
Yes.
into Glow?
Wait, did you,
Okay.
is he the one you did get to meet or didn't?
Oh, I met Eddie
Come
Murphy.
on, baby, let's hear it. Come on, tell us the story.
Don't worry, no swear words. But
All
and this is this ended up in the play, the meeting of it. So I had an audition with Glow, and I was out with my girlfriend. We were at a club, and she saw, I think it was Carlos and Charlie's at the time. So she met Eddie Murphy, and she brought me along, and we actually went back to his hotel room. It was a Chateau Marymount or something, and we went to go party with Eddie Murphy. So she was like, all excited. And then and I'm trying to act like I'm not impressed. And I'm like, woo-hoo, that's Eddie Murphy. And then all of a sudden, he's at his piano singing, "My girl likes to party all the time, party all the time." And he goes, "What do you think?" I go, "I don't really like it." It ended up being a hit song. So my whole thing is he had somebody, might have been a bodyguard, that was in a room, and you would have thought it was Alaska because there was so much snow. Is that a nice way to put it?
Yes, yes.
So he asked me if I wanted to go sledding. And I said, no, I have to go home. I have an audition for Glow. I've got to go. And they go, "What's Glow?" I go, "Well, it's just, I have to go. I don't want to go sledding." So I turned down the sledding. So my friend stayed, and then she called me the next day, and I already did my audition, and she goes, I got a jacket, a fringe leather jacket from Eddie, and he signed it, and we're going to go out and everything. And I go, okay. He never called her again, but she got a jacket that's probably worth a lot of money. So in my play, I have this famous line, and we kind of brought the Eddie Murphy story in there, and it was either blow or glow.
That's really cool.
So obviously, I picked Glow.
That's cool.
And I'm telling you, I had the little devil on me going,
God.
oh, wait, no, just go for a little bit. And I'm like, no, I got to go.
That's so cool. Now, who did you always wish you could have met, but you never got the opportunity?
Keanu Reeves.
Oh, okay.
You know what? I just, the more, he's just like real. And I want to believe that there's real people out there, and the way he is with his fans, and it's just, I might fan out. See, I'm even like stuttering, even saying that, right? I'm fanning out over Keanu. I would love to meet Keanu Reeves.
That's so cool, though. I
meet
agree
him.
with you. I think he's amazing. So
That's the
love
only
it.
one. I would love to also to meet Hart, the women,
Okay.
Anne and Nancy. I would love to meet them. But my thing is, what do you say to them? I have fans coming up to me where I'm going up to them, hugging them, going, "Thank you for remembering us."
So cool. So cool.
Yeah.
So I'm going to take a moment, and I'm going to read a poem out of my book. All right. And I always read this poem to inspire people, because people send me messages when they watch my shows. "I wish I could be like so-and-so. I wish I could." They're going to be saying the same about you, like, "Oh my gosh, that's so cool. I wish I could have done something like that." But I want everybody to know that they all have something to offer. So if anyone out there is feeling hopeless, worthless. Please don't. Understand this, okay? Get off your bed. Get off your bed, and you have something to offer, okay? But you're the one who has to figure that out, all right? So this poem is called Utilizing Gifts and Talents, okay? We are born with talents, we are born with drive, with different gifts to help us thrive. I knew early on I was born to draw and paint, to also write poetry and to talk without restraint. Our gifts and talents should all be used, God's gift to us, not be abused. We can go far in life for sure, using our gifts to go on tour, like this lady has. All our talents should be used to create ourselves and more, but then our job's to share them, to even up the score, like this lady has. You see, in life what's needed is not just for ourselves. Once our gifts are mastered, take them off the shelves. A living we can make by spreading them around, not just for the money, but to spread a peaceful sound. Don't take for granted the gifts you're given. Go out and spread the joy. Our gifts are not to be held back for us to self-destroy. Put your efforts forth. Do not hesitate. All your talents, my friend, are never second rate. Never hold them back or you will surely die. Maybe not in body, but your soul will cry. Our gifts were made to share, our talents made to soar. Go through life enlightened and then you can roar. Be proud of who you are. Be happy you're alive. Once again, my friend, your gifts will help you thrive. By putting efforts forth, not keeping them at bay, your name, Roxy baby, will live forever, forever and a day. So go through life excited for what you sure can give. To yourself and others is our reason to live. Our grave will be quite lonely, but our legacy lives on. So make sure people smile with the breaking dawn. And girl, that's what you are doing.
That's beautiful.
Thank you. And that's what you,
that gave me chills.
that's what you are doing. That's what you are doing.
Whoa, that was beautiful.
You know,
Beautiful.
everything you've shared, you know, really is very inspiring, you know.
Thank you.
So I just want to thank you so much for honoring me today with this incredible interview. You know, what more can I say? I mean, I really look up to you. I mean, I think you're incredible. And the photos that you sent me for my ad were magnificent. And I was like, who is this lady? I cannot wait to get to know her. So I want to give you the mic one last time. The mic is yours. I don't want you to get off thinking, oh, I forgot to say this or I forgot to say that. Please share anything else you'd like to share.
The only thing I have to say is just thank you to the Glow fans. I'm telling you, I'm on Facebook and I'm a real person. And sometimes I'm down, and then I look at the fans and they reach out to me, and my fans build me up. I'm normal. I'm a regular person, and I rescue animals and I help with that, and the fans share, and it's just I feel like we're just like a family, and I'm telling you, Glow has changed my life. I have nothing bad to say about it, and just the friends that it brought me even now. I have these families like the Collings and Willie and Sylvester and Robert, and just and if I forgot, I mean, they're just amazing. They're my friends. They are my friends, and they'll be friends for life. So I just want to thank the Glow fans. In fact, I know a few of them that are flying out from New York. I think Willie is, to come see Matilda the Hun, the raw meat. So I mean, these are fans that we had on the cruise, and you know, and my Glow sisters, Debbie, they call her Dallas. I love Dallas. I love my Sunny. I love doing my pet pantry with Godiva. Royal Hawaiian is out there kicking butt and doing Comic-Cons. And you know what? These girls are out there interacting with the fans, and they're amazing. So just that's it.
Amazing.
I love the fans.
Amazing. Thank you, girlfriend. This was awesome. Everybody, please do me a favor and share this video. Right here, lady, right here. She's inspirational, okay? So, and then again, I'm going to be interviewing her husband very shortly today. So tune into that as well. And again, thank you, sweetheart, from the bottom of my heart.
Thank you. And honestly, the honor was mine. I was very excited about this.
You made my
Very
day, girl.
excited.
You made
Yeah.
my day. Thank you, sweetheart.
Thank you.
Okay, producer, take us out.
Ladies and gentlemen, Geri Petito.
I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. And in time, this too shall pass. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. Geri Petito taught the class. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. Love's the answer, the greener grass. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. One day at a time, free at last.
When you don't know just what to do,
Just what to do, just what to do.
if what you're feeling is really true,
Is really true, is it really true?
just keep your ideas safe and sound.
Safe and sound, safe and sound.
That's exactly how change is found.
Change is found, change is found. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. And in time, this too shall pass. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. Geri Petito taught the class. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. Love's the answer, the greener grass. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. One day at a time, free at last.